Kingdoms and Castles is one of those games I'm always looking for an excuse to come back to and do something absolutely stupid with it. And honestly, today we have the perfect excuse. The latest update, the Dragon Taming update, is currently in the beta branch, the development build, and it looks like it's now mostly functional. You can tame dragons, attack enemies with them, and I've stayed mostly spoiler-free exactly how it all works. So today, we're going to spend 500 years making the kingdom of my dreams, for once, not in the absolute hardest difficulty. We're going to be going with just regular hard difficulty, which means we don't have a limited supply of stone and iron, which means we can truly build up the kingdom. I want it to look beautiful, I want 100 happiness, I want at least excellent health, which is 90 plus, and I want at least 5,000 people. Those are all of the challenges I'm putting on myself to make the kingdom, which I can call my new favourite kingdom. In all the other challenges, it's all been about the survival mode or not surviving that long. This time, make the perfect kingdom, have a dragon legion as my army, and if possible, my only defense being dragons, or at least my only army being dragons, and then move on from there. This should be a lot of fun, and hopefully the dragons are actually useful. Future Lathrix here, yes, the dragons are very useful. Oh, this looks perfect, and only after 2 or 3 refreshes. Wonderful. Now, I've seen better kingdoms than this in terms of stone reserves and the stone placement, but this is pretty good with that. But the main thing I'm after is this. All that very fertile land all in one section, because normally what ends up happening when I try and build is everything looks homogeneous. We have farms mixed with industry, mixed with residential, and it is an easy way to play, but for once I want to use the cart system and the docks properly and the markets, and I want a farming section, a residential, an industry section. I want it to look more planned, kind of SimCity-esque. So that's what we're going to go with. Okay, let's accept that. Oh, there are some wolf dens over there. Well, this is going to be a problem, because where I want to put down our kingdom, straight away, our keep rather, is over here. This is a nice flat area. This could easily become the capital with almost all of my residential. But if I put it like here, which I'm going to, it means these, yep, have all become wolf dens. So this section of forest is now incredibly dangerous, and it's going to be very difficult to get the stone, which I kind of want to rush towards. Now, of course, I have done a lot of these videos on the channel already covering this game, so expect some of the intro to be a little bit skipped, because we have seen all this before. I have done the 1000 Days challenge on the hardest difficulty, I have done other challenges and stuff. So, the intro, although in my opinion is the most interesting and fun part, I will be skipping a little bit to make sure people don't go insane after seeing the same thing too many times. But for new viewers, don't worry, I won't be skipping everything, because I talk way too much. For instance, building hovels. 4 years in, we have some farms, we have some hovels, we have some more people, all the basic stuff this early on. Next thing, I'll be trying to get some orchards so I can get some different food types. The more food types you have, the more health you have. The more health you have, the less chance of getting plague. And if you're healthy enough, it even increases happiness. Which is good, because unhappy people simply leave your kingdom. That's not too close to the wolves, is it? I don't think so. For now, let's just try and get as many people as we can. More hovels, yes, please. All this will be destroyed for manors and everything else later, and I'll get into why that is so important when I actually start building them. Basically, hovels are terrible. Adorable, but terrible. Also, they're looking right into each other's window. There is no space in between them. We are now a small village, apparently, since we have 25 people. Lovely, and we continue to destroy all of the forests around us. On the upside, I think we finally have enough stone to go ahead. There we go, and put down some quarries. Then as soon as we have the resources, we'll put down a small stockpile to make them more efficient. Once we have stone, everything becomes so much better. Once the orchards are actually grew, things will be better as well, because we'll get more food, obviously, but more variety. How am I already getting fruit? Wait. Am I only just learning this now? Do you actually get fruit from these, even before the trees are fully grown and showing fruit? I thought that was their downside. Am I just thinking of Banished? I have got, like, 300 hours in this game now, and I didn't even realise that. To be fair, I also didn't realise that your mouse can make clouds disappear when you're looking at the maps, trying to decide on one, so clearly I am not very observant. Okay, so the next thing I want to save up for is the treasure room. This will allow me to start taxing the people, which means we have gold, which means we start putting down some archer towers to clear the wolves, but also get some protection versus Vikings. The first Viking attack, I never even tried to protect against. It's such a small attack, you don't end up losing much, and trying to rush all that protection is a little bit difficult anyway, so we're just going to leave it as it is. Though, the big problem is really over here with the quarries and everything else. They're likely to burn all these down. Maybe we'll get some protection. And we want a tavern because I've built too much of everything. Okay, here we go. Fresh booze for all. This is kind of all I want to build now before I start building the larger houses as well, which also take gold, the manors. Although I could start building cottages in their place and then replace them later. Just because the manors are 2x2, the cottages are 2x1, and the hovels are 1x1, it means I want to build the roads differently depending on exactly what I'm building. There we go. Our first bit of charcoal has been made. Fantastic. Eventually, we're going to have you as pets, but here's the first dragon, which thankfully never actually attacks. So we don't really need to do anything. Please hurry up and finish off the treasure room. I know the stone's really far away. Okay, we need to deal with this. I wish I could tell the peasants to only stick to the roads, because they are getting me worried every single time. And eventually the roads will be stone as well, so I can go faster on that, so hopefully they won't cut through anyway. But by then, we should have just destroyed all the wolves. Time to make a species go extinct. We are now a burgeoning town. Also, the Vikings did attack. I didn't notice and they all got destroyed. That's how fast it happened. And so we have some extra happiness because well done to the elite archer towers. Okay, we need more staff. That's fine. We're now replacing some of these things with the manors, and I have put down our first chapel, which is only temporary, because what I think I'm going to do is have one major high street kind of here-ish. I'll double check all the range of the different effects, and then have the manors to the left and the right. Now the problem is, certain buildings, although it says it's in range, it gives less happiness the further away it is. But I'm hoping that having them all concentrated here and having multiples of them should make up for that. So we have the church, we have the taverns and everything else here, we'll have the cemetery over here somewhere, then we'll have some gardens around the outside, and that should work out just fine. In theory. Just need to know the range of the church once I have enough gold to actually test that. There we go, lovely. Little bit shorter range, but not by much, that's fine. Just make sure it's kind of in the middle like here. Gonna have to put it this way around, that's fine. Okay, so here is gonna be our high street. Well, I've been a little bit silly trying to rush all the other things because I didn't build any ballistas at all. And to do that, all we need to do is build the Chamber of War, and the Chamber of War is a bit cheesy. Now this, you don't have to do this, but it is the best way of doing it. If you put down the Chamber of War, and then pause it, the game thinks you now have a fully functioning Chamber of War, so you can put down ballista towers and barracks and everything else. Why didn't I do that in time? Honestly, no idea. I even have excess stone to start building some of the first towers, which would go in this area. I was just so focused on trying to plan things for the future, I even doodled some stuff on a quick notepad. I kind of forgot I needed to actually build stuff. Was that it? Okay, it wasn't too bad at all. And there's the other benefit with the manors, they have so much health. They can actually survive a direct hit, whereas things like the hovels get instantly annihilated. We've also decided the main road's going to be here instead. It's going to be with 2 stone roads, one here, and then all the stuff along there. It's a little bit more towards the centre, but that's fine, just because where I've put down the manors to begin with. Eventually, all of our forestry and everything else is going to be pushed further out anyway. We have our very first large market here, or at least the largest the game allows us. I kind of wish you could build a larger market than this, like a major one, but this is the large version anyway. It's fully operational, people are now grabbing food and throwing it in, which means all of these houses are going to have a much easier time keeping stocked. Now over here, we're building our first ballistas. So, one trick you can do is, if you don't want to wait for the wall to be built first, is you build a single block, you put the ballista down and wait for them both to be finished, and then you continue to build up the wall. Because now, although this wall is still being completed, this ballista tower will remain on. Otherwise, you normally have to wait for the entire wall to be built, and then the ballista is built last. So if you're in a rush, That's a way to do that. So this is going to be able to protect at least the main section. The rich people get to be protected first, basically. Should we put down the large church now, or more houses? You know what, let's just do the church now. In fact, I'm going to push it a little bit further back, because this thing has more limited range. I want it to be as efficient as possible, so... there, I guess. Bit of an awkward amount of blocks in the middle, but that's fine. Let's put down the town hall. Sorry, the town square, that's fine. And all this is coming together. Then once I have the resources, I'll be turning all the roads into stone roads, which will make them way faster at moving around. So with the cart, which I never use, and I'm constantly told I should. First of all, where even is it? There we are, the transport cart. Transport resources between your storage buildings. Oh, okay, so you can go between, let's say, the produce storage and the market. For a second, I thought it was only between markets. Then yes, these are going to be needed later on. I never use them, but this time I'm going to be building them and having them absolutely everywhere. Is that dragon really just going to skip over the main section? Oh, come on, it's the one place I protected. You're not that smart. Thankfully, I did put a well down here at least, since I kind of anticipated that. Just didn't really have the resources for even more ballista. I didn't even get the kill, with 2. Oh, that was unlucky. If we went for the main section a bit more, then yeah, that would have been an easy kill. That's fine. I am going to be building a 3rd ballista tower, however. Did that in the wrong order? Doesn't even matter. The next enemy is the Vikings anyway, and they won't be bringing the ogres yet. Or the trolls? Not sure which. Anyway, building a hospital. Hospital. Big old church. Big old market. The town square. Place for our dead people, which is good, because 2 people were just killed. Look at me planning ahead. Planning for the dead. That sounds like a terrible, 2-sentence horror story. He planned ahead. He planned for the dead. Because he killed them, innit? On the upside, the Vikings are having a far rougher time. There's nowhere really not protected by the arch towers. They may destroy one of these farms, or even both of them, but they will be killed by the tower. Oh, this is a low-level tower. Even so. A couple of farms is literally just a tiny bit of wood. Boop. Don't think anything got destroyed by the dragon over there, but still, let's just repair everything. Thank you. Walls soon. Once we have some more of these vitals up and running and the main roads, the walls are going to go after that. Probably should have built them earlier, to be completely honest, but I hate rebuilding and destroying them, so I'd much rather have at least the main square ready, then build from there. As well, realistically, I should have been building the ballista towers more in the center, like here-ish, would kind of protect everything, but again, what I'm going to do is have a major wall around this capital section, and then each of the corners will have ballista towers, which will be able to protect the farmland, because it'll be major settlement, farming, probably some industry, but probably not, because that's only stone. Where's all that iron? It's over there, isn't it? I actually don't really know where I'm going to do the industry, potentially down here next to these 2, so there'll be a major kind of defended area over here as well, which will be able to protect the farmland. So I didn't really want to build that here yet, but now I'm thinking about it, I could have just guessed where the walls were going to go. Yeah, future planning, clearly not my strong point. I don't have many strong points, and that's not one of them. Ta-da! We have our first windmill. On top of looking absolutely adorable, it also gives +3 food to every single tile nearby, which is absolutely wonderful. It brings some of them to 10 food per year per tile, which is loads. And the end goal here is to build a reservoir, or actually a large reservoir, right there in the middle. Then that will be able to supply water to everything here, which I think is a +1 or a +2 to every single tile again. And don't worry, orchards thankfully count as 4 tiles because they are 4 tiles. That's why they're getting the +8 fertility bonus rather than just the +2. Nice and efficient. Lovely. I mean, our farming area is tiny. Oh, I forgot. I still have the farming area over here. That's why we can't stock our food enough. Okay, so every year we're actually wasting some of the apples because we can't store them fast enough. That's because I forgot these are still running. I thought I turned them off. We are a bustling city. Oh, we're running out of gold every year. Yep, tax rate's too low for how many archer towers we're keeping on for their experience gain. Probably should start to consolidate our towers. That's the major reason why we're losing gold there. But actually 30%'s enough, and people are still pretty happy. We're building our first library as well, so these manors should be incredibly happy. Yeah, even with the tax and without the fish, they're still pretty darn happy. And soon, we're even going to add a tiny little statue, a Victory Valkyrie, right there. Which will increase happiness, I think, by 2 for everything in range. The dragon is down, and with that, we get some delicious dragon meat for our people. Which will actually increase their health. Proud of our troops' valiant efforts in combat. Good. Oh, those Vikings just really didn't want to survive, did they? Nope, and they're going to do the exact same. Unless they actually go for our fishing hut, which currently isn't staffed. We need more people. Okay, let's start building random stuff and start building more manors, please. Finally starting to build some stone roads, which makes people way faster, which is fantastic. So this road here and then this road here, both need to be stone as soon as possible. Beautiful. Now as for food, we're doing, honestly, better than I thought. Turns out, again, windmills on very fertile land is ridiculous. So what I need next, then, is some of the swine herds. Raises pigs to be slaughtered for meat. So these will eat wheat, so you only really want these when you are already overflowing with food, because you are, I think you actually lose food overall. It's a few wheat for 1 meat. But you can also get the butcher, but the butcher requires tools. So for now, I'm just going to put down 2 swine herds just to start the process. Technically it should be that way around, but I think it'd look better this way around, so sure. There we are. 2 swine herds. We should be able to get loads and loads of wheat per year, and that's only for this section here. We can always expand that, so our people are going to be made way healthier. We're also finally expanding over here to grab even more stone. Now, there is the larger quarry, which I never use. Requires tools to operate. Produces more stone than 2 small quarries. Literally what I was going to ask, is it actually worth it? Okay, so that's for the future. Tools are definitely something we need soon. Although, we could just go with a dock, because honestly, you can get a lot of tools and everything with just one of these. But I need more charcoal to sell, so I have enough gold for that. Okay, so next thing, we need to start our foresting industry properly, which is going to be here. So let's move a road out. I wanted to avoid most of the fertile land, so let's actually move it from here instead. That's fine. And that's going to be all of our forestry and charcoal. Cool. Okay, we're building our first theatre here, and soon a bathhouse, because the peasants despair at their filthiness. They need a bathhouse, which is a 3x3, so we can go there along this road. And this road comes along like this, that's great. Eventually we'll have the cathedral here and the great library here, and that'll be kind of the full size of the capital. Then we'll have another residential area probably here or here, because it has almost no fertile land, same here. And we'll probably put some residential down here as well, next to all of the iron reserves. That's how we're going to do all of that. We probably won't be using this iron, because it'll make our people unhappy with all the noise and pollution it makes. So, first of all then, I need the water reserve. Is this all salt water, right? Yeah, okay. So, that's salt water, but I believe if you build a moat, you can use that for water. Am I correct? Probably still want it outside the main area, though, don't we? Ah, this is going to be really awkward. How do I do this? I mean, I could turn this into a lake between the two. Ooh, actually, that would look really nice. Turn this into, like, a little lake with some gardens behind it, and then we can just build the water stuff into that. That's what I'll do. Need a bit more gold, though, for the size I want it. Dragon's back, once again annoyingly attacking our undefended area. I think I just need to... Wow. I have never seen one small dragon do that much devastation before. Yeah, I was hoping I could hold it off. No, we need the central ballistas now. Oh, it destroyed windmills. Windmills cost gold and stone. Even if I had built a second well on this side, which I am going to do now anyway, that would have still been destroyed. That is horrible. Absolutely horrible. I was really hoping I could get away with it, but nope, my greed has caused problems down the line. Who would have thought? Okay, checking out the happiness, and people are, well, just incredibly happy. Now, the one thing some of them are missing is the library, because we only have the small library just here. So we'll put down the larger version. There is not a larger version of the library until the Great Library, is there? No, there's not. Okay, library goes there as well. That's fine. With the bathhouse, though, that is so much extra happiness, it's insane. Yeah, +8 if they're close enough, which is wonderful. I think the ones over here will get like +2. No, +3. Wonderful. And once these have some fish and food, they'll increase happiness even further. Hopefully they'll be able to grab those soon. I don't really know why they're not, honestly. We have so much fish and pork already. Either way, people are looking incredibly happy, and they are incredibly healthy. So next, timber machine going. Market. Not market, dock. Well, it's a good job I've upgraded the ballista in the center, because that is a lot of dragons. I kind of forgot how bad the dragons were in the harder difficulties, gotta be honest. Still, managed to kill all 3 of them, so that'll be a happiness bonus overall. Is that really saying the bathhouse is too crowded? Oh, because it just turned off. That might explain why. Oh, come on, I've got the well right there. Okay, what we need then is the fire brigade. And you know what? I'm going to put it here in the farmland. Apparently that's where every dragon wants to attack, so sure. Need to make the central tower more devastating, apparently. Okay, well, at least this time we didn't lose any of the windmills, so not as bad as last time, even though there were 3 dragons and not just the 1. So that's good at least. Okay, our foresters are all going down, so what we need now is some large stockpiles, because this is going to be a major section of our entire economy. Because it turns out selling charcoal is the easiest way to buy anything you want from the merchants. Our very first merchant ship, and immediately has a special item. Improved construction techniques. Reduce... Oh, that is so good, and I can't afford it, but I am actually building a treasure room right now. Please stick around until I can have enough gold storage to pay you. And hopefully I'll also get some more charcoal. Please, everyone, run that charcoal in. I want that desperately. Though I also want some tools so I can start destroying some of these empty caves. That'll be great. I've also finally removed this section here, so we'll be putting down the last row of things. So I'm thinking another row. Originally it's going to be another row of manors, but I don't know if that's going to be in range of everything. The theatre it will. Actually, yeah, the bathhouse and the theatre have such long ranges. That can be the manors. Originally I wanted it to be symmetrical, but I think this would be easier. So manors, gardens, wall. This is going to be bigger than I expected, but it is going to be a really heavily populated area. No! Oh, just not in time. That's a shame. That is really a shame. Would have loved that bonus. It just makes everything cheaper, which makes everything easier. Which would be nice. Just adding some basic protection over here as well. So let's do another 3 there. So 2 more ballista and another archer tower. That should keep this from being pillaged too much. We have 3 years, so hopefully we'll have some of this built. And we want more foresters as well, so let's build some road out. To be fair, we have loads... Whoa, actually, we have loads of charcoal, loads of timber already. Maybe I don't need more than this. But that's for the future. By increasing the range of the central tower, we managed to defeat the dragons. And look, the perfect outline of the dragon now made out of pork. As we know, inside of every dragon is pork. Obviously. What else would it be? Yeah, we're already making way more charcoal than we need, which is good in most ways. Now, this well is in a really annoying position. In fact, wells normally are annoying. I do wish there was a larger version of the well we could put down to provide fresh water. I don't believe a reservoir does that. If it did, it'd be great, because we just have a big old reservoir somewhere, but we do need the wells, so that's going to have to stay as it is. So do I actually want this here? I could just cap this out now. Have these three like this, maybe one more line of houses here, because that should be in range of everything else. Then just have this for the Great Temple, or the Great Library, rather. I do have space for more housing, so I don't need to just keep on building up housing more and more and more. But I also feel like it's a waste not to, because these are in range of both sides. So I do think one layer, rather than two layers like this, one layer here, then the two great buildings there and there, and we'll just move the swine herds into the center. I think that's what we're going to do. Okay, sadly this time around, no special item. Though I will just quickly grab some tools. There we go. And let's sell some of our charcoal. How do we only have 87 charcoal? What? Yeah, we have, like, the maximum amount there, and locked resource so it can only be exported. Grab the charcoal faster, guys. Come on. We are now building the large reservoir, and actually, I'm going to quickly pop down a hovel here, just because I want to see if you do get fresh water from the large reservoir. I am certain you don't, but if you do, would be nice to know. Also, let's remove all this. Currently, all of our food's coming from here, and it's finally starting to lag away. Considering how little space we're taking up, it just shows how effective this is. And once the large reservoir's up, all of these will suddenly start producing more food. The fact that so much of our food is going towards pork as well is not helping that much. There we are. More charcoal production for the future. More manners are down. We have these. Now, what I want to do is at least be able to start to place the Great Library so I can see how I'm going to place it here before I move all of the swine herds away. Built a little double-wide stone road here, so it should go like here-ish. Then we'll build the wall around it, and then we'll do the opposite over here with the Great Cathedral. This takes so long to build, it's actually insane. How much stone do these hold each? Only 2 per peasant, right? There we go. Okay, large reservoir is online. This hovel's not yet populated, so I can't see. But the reservoir is giving +1 food to every single tile. Doesn't sound like much, but it's going to affect every single bit of food I produce from now on. So that's just grand. Also, I have some tools now, which means I can start doing some of these rock removals. One nice effect of the reservoir as well is it removes all these barren tiles and makes everything just look more pleasant to look at, honestly. I just find this kind of yellow tile not to look particularly nice. Which I guess is the purpose, to be completely honest, but if we could just reservoir the entire map, that would be lovely. It's just so expensive. And now I can see what the Great Library looks like. If I put it like there, what we could do is put it there. Then we have the main wall go like this, actually cuts in a bit, and then goes out. Maybe something like that? I think that would look quite nice. Then that goes in there, then all of this we can just put statues or gardens, just to make it look more pleasant. And then these corners can become ballista towers. So, hard point there. Little corners to protect the farmland. Hard point there. Yeah, that's what we can do. Not quite yet, though. You know what? I will put down the wooden castle blocks, though, just so I can see what I'm doing. Now, we do need to move the cemetery. So, if I demolish this cemetery, do I just get rid of the tombstones? Is that okay? Everyone okay with that? That's actually kind of surprising. What I am going to do, though, is start to get some iron, because we need tools to get rid of all of these chunks of stone. Ah, that iron being there is actually really annoying, because I just thought, I don't think you can actually remove iron. I didn't even think about that until just now. I guess what we could do is have the cathedral here instead. Housing, gardens, cathedral, that'll work as well, yeah, that'll be absolutely fine. Slight oversight there, but not a major issue. So just to confirm, no, the aqueduct does not give us drinkable water. Makes complete sense. Still a little bit disappointed anyway. We are still... No, we are now gaining food per year. Good. Just went down a bit, I guess, because also just built all these manors. And the dragon is sighted. Lovely. Okay, let's put the last of the manors here. So finish off there. So probably the same as last time. Well, same as the other area. What I would like is to have the gardens going around the outside, because I just think that looks nice, rather than ending in the wall. There? Yeah, sure. Let's go with the original plan. Yes, I'm ignoring the big scary dragon right now. That's it. Go into the center with all the towers. Thank you very much. And down you go. Yeah, this is why we need the hard points. Okay, good. Both of them are down. We'll get some extra happiness for that. Sadly, nothing too interesting here. We'll just grab the usual. Oh, you can remove iron. Okay, good. I can do the original plan then. So cathedral's still going over on this side. That way we can have a major road between here and make this area look nice as a road. Good. Original plan's back in action. For some reason, I was so certain that was the case, and I am so glad to be wrong. Almost on our 100th year, and things are actually starting to look like a proper kingdom now. And I'm really, really tempted to try and make this thing symmetrical because it's so annoying. So at the moment, we're basically ending on this row over here. But what we could do is expand this and then make it a little bit more symmetrical. But then it's going to be annoying to fill that out, so I don't really know what I'm doing there, honestly. That's right, Lathrix not knowing what he's doing. Huge shock. Still, we have almost 1,000 people already, and our food's looking good, our economy's looking good. Everything's fine. I'm just unable to plan ahead. Trying to work a few of these Valkyrie statues in, so I'll be putting 2 here by the Great Library. I'll be putting some near the cathedral, which, yes, I still can't figure out how I want to do this. Because of our position near the water, I can't make it perfectly symmetrical no matter what I do, and it's gonna destroy me. I'm also putting a Valkyrie statue here, because I think it just fits on this huge road I've made. The problem is, I don't know if Vikings attack these. So this is a sacrificial Valkyrie. Which sounds like it should be a term. Remember that tip I gave earlier about building up like this? That might not actually be accurate, because these ballista towers aren't active. Now I've just upped their size. I could have sworn the last time I played, that worked. In fact, I'm certain it did, because otherwise I would have died really early on. See, there you go, now it's working. Oh, when you do that, the people just need to run back into position. Okay, so it basically makes it unemployed for a short while, then they reactivate. So don't do it when the enemies are already heading towards your base. Good to know. That's never happened to me before. So, good to know. But now the enemies are bringing catapults and the trolls. They do indeed attack that, which is a shame. Which means what we're gonna need is a lot more on the ballista side of things. Little outposts like this are gonna end up being destroyed now because archer towers do almost no damage to the trolls and they are outranged by the catapults. On the upside, the dragons are arriving in a nice staggered pattern, making it nice and easy to destroy. Lovely. Still excellent health, and we're still very happy. Good, good, good. Still trying to decide what we're going to do over here. So I've decided to go with this. It means this front section is a little bit wonky now, but at least all this is symmetrical, so that's fine. And we're about to add the cathedral once we have enough stone, and it is a lot of stone. So this will be probably larger than the Great Library section. And it'll also contain a massive cemetery, since I think that'll look nice. Everything else, though, is going according to plan. Okay, let's just throw these down. Great. Some space here for another large one of those. Now, the thing is, I know for a fact the jousting arena is massive. Yeah, 6x4. Oh, that's where it should go, just next to the... Yeah, if we just put that there, next to the keep, that would look awesome. Maybe move these treasure ones behind, put that there. Or maybe along here. One of the two. And yes, I'm aware the keep isn't exactly in the middle either, but because it has all the extra buildings attached to it, that's constantly changing as well. Yeah, it's one off. It can't actually be perfectly in the middle because it's a Is it a 3x3 or a 4? 1, 2, 3. Yeah, if it was a 2, we could put it in the middle. That's fine. As long as we have, like, the treasure room on its side or something, that means it's kind of in the middle, and that'll be fine. Now, in fact, that's what I'm going to do. Right now, we don't have that much gold, so let's just move those. Put the large treasure room here, and now that is the keep. Good. That's how we'll keep that. And now it is in the middle. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Perfect. For the last 50 years, I've had all the charcoal creators off because we just had so much stored, but I forgot to turn off the timber workers, so yeah. More timber than we're going to need for a very, 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 very long time. Whoops-a-daisy. I've turned all the charcoal makers back on now, so let's burn some of that wood away. Now, we need some more storage for our food down here. That's the only reason why we're not storing everything. We are gaining food back. Now the reservoir's back up. Lovely. What else do we need to do? Cut down this section, start production of tools by ourselves so we can reliably use those. I think that's just about it. Then we need to decide what we're going to do over here. So this is a massive amount of space of the island still not used. Things are looking great, but we still have like 900 years left, and we have like a good 3/4 of the island, probably more, currently not being used at all. This is going to be a big kingdom. Ooh, didn't even realize how much fish was over here. Fantastic. Love the swine herds, but the fact they use up so much wheat is disheartening. Finally, doing what I said before, we're going to be building some transport carts. So their main purpose is going to be ferrying charcoal from over here all the way down to our industry area, because otherwise they're just not going to be able to make tools at all. So to make tools, it requires iron and charcoal. Simple as that. It's the exact same recipe if you want to make armaments as well, but normally I just rely on the merchants for that, and it doesn't seem to be a big issue since I don't rely too much on soldiers. So for now, it's just for this. Okay, that's looking good. Now, before I put too much more stuff in here, I would like to wall this off completely. This is actually a really nice placement here because it means any Vikings trying to go this way along, or along this way, will be attacked by our ballista and everything else from this position. Also, again, love how many fish are there. So, I could actually add a drawbridge over here, I've just realised, which would be nice. Ooh, what if we make all of this water? That would look really neat. I think that would make this look really unique, this little cut-in. Very tempted by that. Very, very tempted. And so, our first cart goes off. And immediately ignores the road I've built for it. That could not have been the fastest path. Is the garden or the fact it's 3 wide really throwing people off or what? That is so bizarre. It went there to there to there. That cannot be the fastest. Oh, okay, is that garden really causing that? I'm hoping it's not, but let's replace it just in case. Okay, now it's going like this. To get to... Okay, sure, whatever. That's fine. Oh, okay, to be fair, there is a cave there I couldn't see because of the trees. Let's remove that. Thank you. Cool, that's charcoal, and then it's returning back to our little crafting area, and we'll dump it all into one of these, which will only hold charcoal. That one only holds charcoal, these are just generic ones, then there's one which only holds tools, and 1, 2, which only holds iron. In fact, I want 2 of them to only hold iron, thank you very much. And that's that, cool. So the next thing we need to build is the actual blacksmith, and some masons as well, so we can start repairing our stuff. Why did you have to come from this direction? Sure, we have a couple of ballista ready, not many. And you aren't landing there, so that's good, at least. You will burn down some of our food stuff, though. But at least this time the catapults can't just chill out doing absolute devastation, because, yeah, we should have everywhere covered. Okay, cool. Managed to shoot down the catapult. So, yep, it's just going to be a few bits of burning here and there on the farms. But it's all protected by archer towers, so minimal damage. I think it's time to wake up the witch. You've awakened me. How long was I asleep? Years, perhaps. I am starved. Fetch me some food, you will? Of course we will. Do I not have that much wheat? I didn't for a second. That was interesting. I have woke up the witch and her first demand was a tiny bit of wheat. So there we go, wheat on the way. But actually our wheat reserves was quite low, so we need to keep on building more of these windmills and making sure we have enough granaries nearby to store it all. I built a market down here, and we have a large iron mine and a regular iron mine. Things should be going okay now. We should be making tools. Yep, we are making our own tools. Fantastic. So I guess I probably do want to have at least some housing here, hence why I've built the market. But how am I going to do this? I think a lot of the housing is going to be quite upset being close to things like that. Oh my god, everything is too crowded at the moment. I guess I just hit a certain population threshold. That's insane. Okay, I'll need to make sure to build all of these over here. Jousting arena, new bathhouse, new tavern, new church. Really? The cathedral isn't enough. Okay. Do we even have enough space over here for all that? I will see what I can do. Time to place down our jousting arena. We're placing it here because this gets almost all the housing here. And we are wrapping around now, so more manors are going to go behind the keep as well. So that's just going to affect almost everything. Now, back over here, we have a chapel, we have a large tavern, we have a library and a clinic, some markets, loads of housing. So this should keep things nice and happy as well. And our new bathhouse is almost done. So when the jousting arena and bathhouse are done, that's all of the negatives gone. We still need more wheat. It doesn't seem like these eat that much, but I swear the swine herds just destroy your economy. More windmills, please. More windmills, more granaries. This area needs to be completely used. A little bit more, very fertile there, a little bit more there. I guess this section over here can also become... Yeah, this over here will also become some windmills. Didn't think wheat would be the biggest issue, but I've never pushed so much for pork. How do only 98% of people have fruit when fruit is the thing we're stockpiling so much and I have markets everywhere working around? In fact, I even have now one of these, which is only ferrying fruit from one place to another because of how many were being stockpiled. Maybe I should get another one, actually. You know what? Yeah, let's do that. So you, let's go from this one, because that one had loads stored, I remember. Pick up lots and lots of fruit. Just absolutely cap out. And then go to the one furthest away. So that'd be this market here. And drop off all the fruit. So that market's going to be constantly stocked. That's probably what I should do. Yeah, because these are just completely full. They're not being emptied fast enough. Okay, major problem. Minus 25 happiness from being too close to the blacksmith. So all of this road is basically useless unless I move the blacksmiths away. I could have them over here. They don't need to be as close as they are to the stockpiles, obviously that makes them more effective, but still. I would like all the manors to be stacked here, and if I move those, I can also have the manors in the middle, except for on the very edge. It turns out that's a little bit too close to the mine. I thought it'd get a little bit further away. Yeah, minus 25 is just too much. Happiness in home, 38. That is no. Just no. Sorry, blacksmiths, you're going to be moved somewhere else. Okay, so, big old statue, manors no longer being affected by the blacksmiths, which are now all in the corners. We have some fishmongers, which are able to turn fish into more fish using the power of tools. And over here, we're also putting down some butchers, and a stockpile, which will actually hold some tools as well. So that'll be the next place one of our transport carts go to. Oh, thankfully I did build a clinic here, because the plague just started. Yay, no one dies from the plague. Well done. It's always nice when the Vikings land where you want them to land. Yeah, they can't really go anywhere without being mowed down by arrows. Can they hurt my transport vehicles? No, they can't. Good. Transport vehicles? Carts. Well, their boats managed to destroy 2 very small pieces of wall, and that was it. Good. And we are now a thriving kingdom. Oh, wow. The butchers work way faster than I thought they did. Good to know. Should have had butchers earlier. In fact, no, should have gone for tools earlier. How many taverns do you want? It's like the village I grew up in, just taverns every 5 seconds. Well, pubs every 5 seconds. No, actually one did call themselves a tavern. It was the scummiest one as well. So the next step with that then is to build our bakers. Takes wheat and charcoal and turns it into bread. Stores food until it is eaten. Which means, yeah, you'll work. The market here is being fed directly with some charcoal and everything else. So let's build some bakers down here then. Maybe that's a bit too much, not too sure. But yeah, we should have some bakers near the markets. Since they're using just charcoal and wheat. Oh, there's an issue. Not much wheat in this section at all. Well, hopefully once the bakers start working, we get some excess. That should all pay off. Again, things I just don't normally work with, and I obviously should. Yay, look at that though. We're in excellent health, and we're in the top section of happiness. This is the goal. I want to end the game with over 90 in both, because that's the top scoring of both. Almost immediately, the bakers have done their job. We now have 99 access to wheat, 98 to fruit, 99 to pork. Can that even reach 100? I'm not sure. But there we are. So yeah, one thing I kind of overlooked though is how the bakers actually work. No charcoal? Really? There's charcoal right next to you. Anyway, how they work is they don't have food to be picked up from markets and things like that. They have to store it until eaten. In other words, you need the manners to go and actually grab from the bakers. So stacking all the bakers over here, for instance, is kind of rubbish. So I'll be moving them out and making sure they're near the other markets. Pretty much wherever I build a market, I'm now going to build a baker. Oh, you can get 100%. I'm sure I've even seen that earlier, but my brain completely deleted that info. The improved bread ovens were just researched, so bakers are now baking bread faster. And let's just make stuff cheaper as well. I think that's pretty much it for the Grand Library. I don't think there's anything else I'm really gonna want. It's just there now as a really nice centerpiece for the capital. Meanwhile, we now have enough resource, we can start really rushing stuff like this. So all the manors going down at once. We have the large tavern and the first market. We're putting down a couple of churches, so it's nice and symmetrical. We'll be putting down one of the larger statues. Let's go with the Queen for this one. And probably don't really need much else here, honestly. I think one large market might be enough. If not, I'll put down a couple of smaller ones. And I'll also set up some of the transport carts in a moment. You know, when the market's actually built. Well, this is probably the happiest kingdom I've ever made so far. I'm actually doing some smart choices here and there. We have 100 happiness without any temporary bonuses, and we have nearly 100 health. The only thing we're lacking a little bit is fruits, and I am trying to build more and more of the transport carts to get all these fruits to their proper markets. Surprisingly difficult. We have loads of them already. I'm now also deforesting massive areas of the map because, well, we just need to expand. At this point, we have overflowing food. We just need more people, so we get more gold per year. Really, it'd be more efficient just to build out here, but I do like these little tiny outposts in the capital. I think it just looks nice, it looks more interesting. Trying to also make some major roads as well between the outposts, like this one over here, because that just looks way more interesting. Right. The siege dragons have arrived. So these annoying little blue buggers are the ones which only go for towers and walls and things like that. They're actually probably the most annoying thing in the entire game. What did you... Oh, yeah, the archer tower there. And there's an archer tower there as well. Okay, note to self, having archer towers in the center now is not only pointless, I just wanted to keep them there because I like the look of them, but they're also now a danger because the siege dragons are going to go for them and they tend to take more shots to kill. Everyone's nice and happy, good, building some more farmland over here, so honestly we just have even more excess. I'm slowly chopping down this section over here for the next thing. So I'm thinking one more outpost here going from here to the water because I think it'll look nice. And then another major section like the capital, I guess. And that'll probably be it for all the outposts, and everything else I just want kind of outdoors, like this section over here, which I quite like the farm still. It'd be safer if I built it completely in the walls, but I like the mix of having the walled-off sections and then the in-between spaces. I've just finished making this place prettier, and instantly trolls just trample all over it. Lucky for them, unlike with dragons, we don't eat trolls. Or ogres, whatever they actually are. When they stack up like this, it really is just dooming themselves, isn't it? So in the hardest difficulty, the best way to play the game, since you have such limited resources, is to force the Vikings to land in certain locations and then just get them to stack up like that and then just annihilate them. Especially using something I haven't used in this run so far. There it is, the fire emplacement, but honestly, so far the arch towers have been more than enough. They're cheaper gold-wise by a long shot, and also don't require loads of charcoal to use, but they do obliterate a whole area of Vikings. We don't have the central ballista tower anymore, but we are building up this little one over here, and soon enough we'll be adding a corner over here as well, so dragons shouldn't even be able to get into the heartland soon. Is the idea. So to build up all this, so I think actually, this is probably where the dragons are going to go. Let's see how big the dragon buildings are. That's the dragon, oh my god, the dragon roost is massive. Okay, let me just place this down for a second, because it might unlock the other so I can at least see their sizes. So dragon bath is a 3x3. Flight training, oh god, this is all very, very, very big. Yep. So that's how much space we need minimum for this stuff. Oh, that's what can go in the core here. This could be the dragon training area. Of course, why not just a dragon outpost? Oh, or this could be for the dragons. Okay, we're going to make a mighty city over here, and as soon as it's built, that's where the dragons are going to go. That's the new plan. Also need to remove these wolves from here. That would be great. Oh, that's why you befriend the witch. Oh, that's annoying. One of you are going to get through. Here's hoping you ignore the almost complete dragon roost. I was kind of banking on that defending us while I kept building all this, but apparently one had to somehow survive that. So the funny thing is, doing that actually upsets people because churches dislike your dabbling with witchcraft. Interesting. Okay, we have the dragon roost here. Happiness and roost is only 40. Wages 135 golds per year. And we need to add gold piles to attract dragons in the first place. It wants aqueduct water, it wants a dragon doctor, it wants a dragon bath, and it wants an obstacle course. Okay, so we'll build all of those things first, including a large aqueduct then. Well, it turns out, I'm sure a lot of you realise this before me, you actually need aqueduct water, not reservoir water, when it says it wants aqueduct water. So I built a tiny little water wheel behind as well, so that's going to be feeding these two. I will be keeping this reservoir because it's very expensive, but also it will give extra bonuses to gardens. So make sure this area gets a lot of its happiness from gardens, and suddenly this is actually worth it. Now, as for the dragon roost, we have given it absolutely everything it could possibly want. So with that, let's add 2 piles of gold. A dragon will try nesting here during the next invasion. Do I have to turn off the ballistas then? Or will they be marked as friendly when they try? I'll leave them on for the first attempt. If there's a clear problem, I'll then turn them off for the next one. I don't want an aggressive dragon burning everything down I've just built. Oh, okay. Looks like we haven't attacked them. So we have 2 dragons, we have a tiny little one, and a bigger scary one. There we go, look at them roosting, they have their piles of gold and food. So, will they just defend us then? The next time there's a fight, and will we see them using all the items around? That'll be awesome. But please remember, this is the beta branch at the moment, it's still being worked on, so if we like something, but it's not there, maybe it'll happen later on. Meanwhile, the witch wishes to speak to me. Hello! You want food? Fine. Stay happy with me so I've got all the kill Viking spells and everything just in case. Aw, how cute. Shenron and Fafnir is how I'm going to pronounce that. Wonder how fast to get through their food. Pretty quick. I might need some of the, But there's markets right here. Oh, do markets only give to heads of household? I didn't realise that. Okay, so what I'm going to want over here then is... Well, butchers store pork. So I guess that. Yeah, actually getting pork over here is going to be really annoying. I guess I could just move stuff from the market now I think about it. Yeah, I'll have to figure out a way to store food here more efficiently, because they are going through food. Yeah, it's 16 fish and 32 pork per year. Okay, but that's just for happiness, though. All the rest is also giving happiness, so I think even with some intermittent food problems, that should be okay. Though, yeah, we need butchers or fishmongers or however else we can hold food and still... Oh, I wonder if... Okay, I wonder if you build a transport cart, can you use that to get food from here into here? Because that would be good. Then we can just use the market peasants to get all the food. This seems really silly, but if it works, it works. Just turned my microphone off for half an hour by mistake. Anyway, like I was saying a second ago silently, yes, you can indeed use a transport cart to get food directly from the market directly into the roost, but it's not really the most efficient thing, and it seems like the people working at the roost kind of glitch out a little bit when you do that. There was fish, but none of it was being fed to the dragons for a while. Not exactly great. So, we've put down some fishing huts here, we're going to put down a stockpile to stockpile tools, and then we have a butcher's and a fishmonger, which I'll make sure to use transport carts to make sure they're full all the time. Then that way the people working in the roost can just grab it from over here. It looks like we need a lot. And considering I want multiple of these roosts, we're going to need more than just this. Thankfully, this area is very rich in fish, so it's not really a big issue for one thing, but I'm not entirely sure how I'm going to do the meat. I think really just a lot of transport carts and just expanding this section to have more butchers and more swine herd. I mean, we do have excess of everything, and food at the moment is actually overflowing, so yeah, that's what we're doing. I do love seeing the little carts going everywhere, doing their jobs. I have no idea why I haven't used this in the past. Can you please use the roads? Oh, would you look at that? I can't directly control the dragon, but it's already helping it. Oh my god, it obliterates Vikings. Good boy, Fafnir. Eat them silly little Vikings. That's lovely. Okay, yeah, we need more of them. The damage isn't as high as I'd hoped, but yeah. Where's the other dragon? There's Fafnir. Attacking desired target, fighting invade. Oh no, the game just crashed. Oh dear. Interestingly, when I reloaded the game, I suddenly ran out of all food. Like, all of this area suddenly is saying no food. So, are you attacking as well, or are you just not caring so much? Oh, this time Fafnir's the one not really doing anything. Oh no, there we go, both of them doing their jobs this time. I wonder what caused the bug. Was it just... See, attacking desired target, I haven't done that. I guess that's what you can do in the future when you have the riders. I guess their desired target is just wherever they want to fight. So it looks like that's what caused the crash. One of the dragons, I think, glitched out. Oh, that is so cool. That is so bloody cool. Lovely. Absolutely lovely. Imagine having just a handful of them rather than just the two. That's going to be great. You got food back now and everything, so that'd be great if you did. Yeah, you got some food back. Good. Okay, we have our fishmonger. I have just... Well, I did. I'm not sure if it's there anymore. But I had set up a transport cart to get some tools directly to the fishmonger. This next one will be getting tools and putting it here. So drop off. I would like tools, please. And then pick up from one of the various ones of these. I think this one has tools. So pick up. Tools. Yes. Go, do your thing. And let's make it so this stockpile only wants tools. And doesn't want too many of them, 100 for instance. Don't want it to eat absolutely everything. Cool. And then with all the fish huts over here, which we need to actually protect better in the future, we should be able to have all the fish we need. And in terms of pork, we have so many swine herds, that shouldn't really be a problem in the future. Okay, good. Bonding is happening again. Fantastic. Let's just get these two bonded, and then see if we need more of these roosts to get more dragons. I'm hoping that these two will just become units then, and we don't need to constantly have them stored here. How powerful they are, I've got a feeling that they are going to be stored there, but we'll find out soon enough. I'm getting really tired. I just love this game. Every time I start recording it, I'm like, oh, I'll record for 3 hours today, then I need to do some other stuff. It's been 6 hours. I know 6 hours isn't much to record per day, but I'm in 6 hours straight without a break. So the dragons don't fight other dragons. Honestly, I didn't expect them to be honest, but good to know we have some confirmation. On the upside, the dragons have now been killed, which means they're being turned into pork, and our dragons eat pork. Oh no. The dragons have been bonded to their riders. So now we have some manual control over them. So if you want to send them somewhere, we just press somewhere, and that's great. If I just double click them, will it select both? Probably not, but I can at least drag click. Okay, good. I can't do hotkeys, which is a little bit annoying, but that's fine. What I'm really hoping is that when a Viking attacks, they will auto just go towards the Vikings, because that means they essentially act as a super long-range turret. No matter where we put them, they'll just go and do their job. They'll act like a tower and start obliterating things. I'm hoping. I'm also hoping that the dragon roosts add some extra happiness to buildings nearby, but I don't think it will. I mean, you're in the Dragon Kingdom. Surely being nearby to the tamed dragons, and by the way, I love their armor and their riders and little spiky helmets, should make people happy. Yes? Maybe? There we are. The dragon statue. I can't think of anywhere better than here. In fact, I kind of like a couple on the way in. Oh, that would look nice. Very inefficient cost-wise, especially since I'm going to need another one over here for the happiness for the buildings, but still. There we go. A little dragon citadel is being created and actually working out. We're building our second dragon roost. So the thing I'm really curious about is how many of the baths, doctors, and everything else you need per roost. I'm hoping just one of each will do multiple roosts, because the roosts themselves are the most expensive. But these are expensive as well. The bath is 30 gold, the doctor I think is like 70, 75 in fact. Only the flight training is free. Okay, Vikings are attacking. Will the dragons do their job by themselves? Oh, looks like yes, they will. Oh, also I've now got the next roost down, which means some of the dragons are about to join us again. That's better. Look at that. Oh, not too much damage versus the trolls / ogres. Although, it seems like that running attack does more damage. That's awesome. That's absolutely awesome. They're just really long-range towers. Now, here's a question. Does their fire set fire to our stuff? It doesn't look like it, based on that little area there. So hopefully they'll go over here next. Lovely. I absolutely love that. There's something about them being automatic, unlike the regular troops, that just makes me very happy. Actually, can regular troops have an automatic mode? I think they might be able to. Doesn't matter. They're dragons, which makes them infinitely cooler than people with swords. They do so much damage as well, especially just to the regular Vikings. That is fabulous. Absolutely fabulous. Oh look, you even helped. Welcome, Regil. Oh, a little baby one as well. Excellent. There we are. We now have 4 dragons, 2 completely tamed, 2 not. I wonder what other bonuses you get for being tamed and just being able to manually select targets. I'm hoping they do more damage or have more health. Oh, I wonder if anything can attack them. So far, I've not seen anything attack them, and I'm hoping that's the case, honestly. How are you running out of food? You have all of this over here and this... Oh, you're a brand new house, that's why. Okay, that's fine. You'll fix yourself in a second. Beautiful. Actually, with these markets being so far away from the food sources, maybe I should get one of our carts to grab some fruit at least. I was just under attack from the Vikings. I noticed we have 5 dragons, which is odd since each roost can have 2, and we have a baby, Inferno. Apparently, the dragons make more dragons. I was completely unaware of this. So yeah. Look! Oh, and the baby is instantly bonded! It has tiny little armor, and actually the rider is also scaled. I don't think that's intentional, but the rider is a child. It looks like they've just scaled down the model, which means yes. Let me just unclick everything, please. Yep, that is just a scaled down model. The rider is a child. Sure, there's a plague happening next to us, but I am building a hospital, but the important thing is we have a child dragon rider. So manually controlling the dragons this time. Let's see if we can burn down these boats before they can even get to shore. Yes, we can. Down goes some of the ogres straight away. Brilliant. Yep, focus firing them means we can take out a lot of the ships before they even get near land. I guess just let them free roam now and do whatever they want. I wonder if they'll focus more on the ones who have already disembarked. No, it seems like they really hate the ships, which is fine by me. Yeah, now we have so many of them, they're just making light work of that. Ooh, seems like they do get a little bit stuck on walls if the walls are too tall. Wow, we've really doom-stacked them, look, they're all in one big ball. Less survivors than usual from this attack. Normally at least a few boats get away. This time, what, 4, 5? And that's it. Nope, just 4. I think these will get away. I don't think the dragon... Oh, never mind. The dragons really hate them. Though I would like them to go back to roost now. Now, manually, you can tell them to return to roost, but you can't just do that as an order, I guess, with all of them selected. Which is a little bit annoying, but still, that's fine. Please all go to your appropriate roosts and get some food. You can let these guys survive and tell of the terror of this place. We're waiting now for the next dragon attack so we can get 2 more dragons. Starting to put down some swine herds right next to these things. With only 2 of them, we're struggling with even getting meat into this area. Just 'cause it's so far away. Even with all the transports, it's just very difficult to set up. So a tiny bit of wheat farming outside, a few swine herds right next to them. That should help out a lot. It also means the people of this area are going to have a lot of food available. What made people so unhappy? Oh, a plague happened recently. Yeah, that'd do it. Going to replace every well I can with a fountain. Just need to make sure there's a large reservoir somewhere nearby, because the range on these is ridiculous. Okay, that'll cover most of these. And then over here we have the bathhouse, which means we have the water wheel there, which is great. Won't be able to place a full large reservoir. Although we could just remove this road here. There's not really too much of an issue. That's not really a cut-through people use, so that's fine. Turn that into a large reservoir. Then that way, we can turn every single well into a fountain in the capital as well. Extra 5 happiness for everyone is huge. Oh, we need to build some walls upon that gate. Good to know. Now, I think we're about to find out if the dragons can burn down our buildings, because as soon as the ones on the outside are finished, yep, there we go inside. And looks like they mostly, yeah, I completely don't. Fantastic. This little section over here needs to be well better protected. And there we go. We have 2 more dragons, both called Scorchio. So that makes 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 dragons we have now available to our kingdom. Shockingly, the main thing keeping us from getting more and more dragons is just the sheer lack of fish. So I'm building a brand new tool-making station over here so we can have some more fishmongers, so we can get some more fish, which then makes more fish. Didn't think that would be the big problem. He was thinking gold and space and everything else. Where did that one dragon go? I swear a dragon just went to the left. Yeah, so it turns out we don't really need archer towers anymore. Oh, actually, maybe we do, because if they split, there's a problem. No, even then, really, that was fast enough of a response time, but next time I'll have to manually split the dragons, so one goes after one group, one goes after the other. We just need the ballista to kill enemy dragons, and that's pretty much it. Yeah, a bit of manual control would make the dragons way more effective. Oh, you're not a tamed one. That makes sense why I couldn't do anything with you. Can you please get that one? Yeah, clearly I need some more practice using the Dragon Legion. still, they're working fantastic. Leave. Sadly, dragons can't attack wolves. Yeah, imagine if I just had a regular little army, that would have been solved immediately. Instead, we're weirdly building some more blister towers. Gonna be removing this entire forest here and making way for more of our fishing huts. Amazingly, the Dragonfire spares our citizens and only kills the Vikings. That doesn't look right. Well, would you look at that? They actually lay eggs. Aw, what a proud little parent you are. That is very cute. Also, it would make a fantastic omelette. Okay, 98 happiness and 98 health. We have 200 years to go, so we can definitely build up these two sections completely. Then I guess the last dragon sanctuary we're going to build is going to be over here because it has lots of fish available and we can easily use all this wheat to make some meat nice and locally. Yes, the carts are fantastic, but it's so much easier when you build them nearby. Also, I just learned the hard way. It turns out building fishmongers near houses really upsets them. Turns out they smell fishy. I just think to myself every time this happens, surely, with those boats returning, there must be some of the Vikings alive, and they must tell the tales of how they invaded with hundreds, potentially even 1,000 people, and they got burnt to a crisp. Maybe dragon eggs are just that delicious, and that's what they're after, who knows? I'm hungry. I think pretty much every single clip in the video now at this point is just going to be me attacking Vikings with dragons, because very little is happening between these at this point. Did you all think you just won? Wow, they burnt that first wave so quickly, they all assumed the Vikings were dead. When they all land in one spot, the dragons are significantly more effective. I know that's fairly obvious, but it's really true with the dragons, but even more so than the arrows and everything else. Oh, look at the little baby dragon trying its best. Is that you? Yes. Okay, Toothless is our new baby dragon. Over here, we are building our new grand area, starting with all the major things. We're going to have a large reservoir, so we can have gardens and fountains and everything else, putting down some churches and some taverns, and then this whole section is going to be the Dragon Reserve. But I'm going to build everything else first this time. That's what I've learnt last time. They take so much effort to keep up, they go last. Sadly, I can't see when the event occurred, and I wasn't recording at the time, but one of our dragons, I think, has passed away from old age. On top of that, one of the babies, I think, flew the coop. Yep, you had a dragon, it's not there anymore, so I think if there's not a space available, once the babies achieve adulthood, they go off to be dragons elsewhere, hopefully attacking other empires. So we need to get a new dragon. Thankfully, they do seem to live a very long time, so it's not something we'll be doing too much. That's it. Keep on landing in the exact same spot. Started just putting some silly things here and there just to make things look more pleasant. Now, back over to our new Dragon Sanctuary, and we're going to add 3 new Dragon Roosts already. We're going to have at least a 4th, and maybe a 5th. We could put more down. We do have space for it, but then it's just an issue of getting all the food to them. If we add any more after that, and honestly I'm not sure we will, they're probably going to go near the centre, and I'll have them just out in the open because I think it'll look pretty. This way as well, having the dragons here means they can attack pretty much anywhere nice and easily and protect us. At the moment, it is all a little bit too much here in the west. I guess that way is north? Anyway, the point is, we're going to have a lot of dragons. We are a magnificent city, apparently, and there we go, couldn't get rid of that. With 3,500 people. And now some pretty serious major roads as well. It's adding some extra housing areas to previous encampments. I'm still not entirely sure what to do with this section here. I'm tempted just to make it something pretty. Originally it was going to be some more dragons, but in the centre here could very easily just be loads of moats, and then statues and gardens and everything else. Just a pretty little section there in the middle. Kind of wish my keep was there, honestly. That would be the obvious thing to put there. Still need to raise the walls everywhere else. Over here keeps getting attacked. This is like the main spot, and annoyingly, the dragons are pretty far away and get distracted a lot. We're still waiting for the next dragon invasion, and we have 4 roosts all ready to go. There's a bit of a glitch going on right now. The dragons apparently are approaching in 4 years' time. And every time it goes to, say, 3 years, it resets to 4. And I've got a horrible feeling it's because we have too many dragon roosts all waiting at once. I'll allow it a couple more years, and if that fails, I'll remove the gold from the roosts, and if that still fails to help it, then I'll just remove the roosts entirely, which is a shame, because they take a very long time to build. So apparently, the dragon invasion is still eventually going to arrive in a year, and yes, this is bugged out again, because the Vikings were 6 years away, the dragons were 4 years away, now they're both equal, but we have just got some new dragons. Not from a dragon invasion though, and this is with 2 of them currently active, 2 of the dragon roosts. So it does seem like the roosts really mess up the dragon invasions, just not in a very clear way. So we finally had a dragon invasion, I wasn't paying attention, I was getting myself a drink, and now every roost except for 1 is filled. However, I am certain some of these dragons arrived without the invasion, so hopefully now this 8 years actually means 8 years. Now the main problem we're having at the moment is just getting enough fish for everyone. Yeah, see this one's already out of fish, and that's with the transport carts moving back and forth from some fishmongers I've set up here, and there's still not enough to go around. I'm hoping that with all the transport carts and being nice and efficient, we'll have enough for all 4 of these, but honestly we might not. It's just because it's such a limited resource. You can overfish areas. I think I've got every single fish resource currently being fished, with fishmongers near every single one of them. So I can't really get any more. I even have tools just near every single fishmonger being stored just for them. Didn't think fish would end up being the biggest problem in this game. Well, we're putting down a new housing area. Originally this was all going to be farmland, but honestly some of this was barren originally before we put down the reservoirs. Over here, on the other hand, I'll be probably using this as our last strip of farm. Maybe over here. Then that's it. Though to be fair as well, we have all of this here. If we take away all this woodland, we do not need quite so much lumber, it turns out, so this could easily be either more farming or more housing. I would love to get 5,000 people. That was one of the goals at the very start of this run, and I think I should be able to do it. I mean, this is going to be a few extra hundred already, so we're probably going to be over 4,000. It's just because I'm trying to keep them as happy as I can, so I've got loads of space dedicated to things like the jousting arenas and the theatres. Because we need that increased tax rate. If we weren't going for 40% tax rate to pay for the dragons, we could probably do away with a lot of the happiness buildings. How have we trapped Viking boats here, and why is nothing attacking them? We just have some trophies, apparently. I know I sound like a broken record, but this dragon invasion has apparently been a year away for several years. In fact, we just saw it change. It was right at the end, and then it went back. It's just really weird. Always nice when they all stack up like this. Dragons, you're not done yet. But it's such an interesting issue. If the dragons kill them too fast and you're not manually telling them to kill boats and everything else, they just go back to sleep. Oh, we just had a dragon invasion, but still saying 1 year away. Interesting. And we still don't have any dragons here in this roost. On the upside, the year is 441, and we only need 80 more people. In fact, less. We need 60 odd more people, and then we've hit the goal of 5,000 people. The happiness is still over 100, just passively, which is great. And our health is near 100, just the fruits aren't being distributed quite enough, which is... I don't know how I'm going to fix that. I already have carts moving fruit to every single market nearby. Apparently just getting wheat and everything is easier. Maybe I should just put down some more orchards near houses and just have that passively work, I guess. Now, where am I going to put those last 60 people? I mean, there's a few spaces here and there. So I can just put down some cottages. Those can kind of fit like here. Oh, in fact, that's another mana. So that's what I'm going to do, just look around and see if there's any spaces I've missed, and just fill them with cottages and manors everywhere I can. In fact, can I build a tiny little hovel on the back? No, that's a shame. That'd be so funny on the back of the keep. So close. Taverns are too crowded. That's fine, we'll build one somewhere. That is a lot of Vikings, and the dragons were super slow to respond. Yeah, you need to manually move them, it seems. Sometimes they just don't quite click what's going on. Oh my god, that is a bloodbath. Look how many dragons we have now. Well, it was pretty bad for a while, but thankfully having this many dragons is pretty lethal. Next time, let's actually build some walls here so I can just walk straight in. That would be great. The amount of times I've had to rebuild all the things here is kind of getting silly at this point. Ta-da! There's an actual gate now. Dragon sighted, and one of them, I think, just became one of ours. Perfect. Two of them, on the other hand, didn't. Does this mean we finally have someone in this roost? Yes, in fact, we have two in there now. Brilliant. I wonder if the younglings, the little hatchlings, when they grow up, do they move on over to these other places, or can you only get them by capturing them? And it looks like you in the middle is currently running out of fish. No, two of them are running out of fish. Oh, three of them are. Yep, once again, fish being the biggest issue. Now, up until only a moment ago, it turns out this fishing hut over here didn't actually have a path into the water because I messed up with the sea gate. That's been fixed now. And thankfully the sea gates do work even if you have only just one of them, but for some reason I kind of boxed that in, so whoops. A lot of fish going to waste. So close to enough people. Over here we are building some manors, so that should be it. That'll be the 5,000. So all I need to do now is just increase the size of the walls to make it look a bit better. Try and make it all even and neat, and that's pretty much it for the next 50 years. I'm not going to try and get any more dragons because A, we don't have enough fish, and B, I just don't think we're going to have enough gold or even the ability to summon the dragons of how glitchy it's been. Your Highness, hatchling Smolder has just been born. Oh, look how teeny tiny he is. Oh, that's adorable. Also, I don't know why I said I don't have enough gold. With the 40% taxes, we have plus 1,000 each year. At 30%, oh, we're almost breaking even. So close, but not quite. I mean, I could turn off a lot of the defense towers at this point. Like, we have these archer towers, for instance, in the middle, and they're just not getting any use at all. Even the ballista towers. Honestly, the dragon attacks are so rare, and it's only 1 or 2 dragons, and they're being caught by all the perimeter towers at this point. I mean, there's definitely a way to get into the core, but it's so unlikely. We have these 4 there, these 3 here. Yeah, I think I'm either going to turn off pretty much all of the central archer towers, or just get rid of them, and that's going to save a lot of gold. That is 6 gold per year per one, and I can think about 10 plus I can just turn off right now. The Kingdom of the Gods. You are living embodiment of divinity for your people. Your leadership has set the standard for countless generations to come. Your name is synonymous with bravery and strength, and it will never be forgotten. Oh, he's a good king, innit? Okay. Recently stepped in mud. You know, I never read these. Enjoying the unemployed life. That's one way of putting it. Likes the sound of rain. Feeling ready. Wonders if goes surreal. I'm sure earlier I saw one which was basically just happy to be alive. And you know, isn't that just the goal? Is that farm just not on the correct position? Yeah, how has that been shifted? That is so annoying. Oh, this is causing all sorts of lag. What are you even trying to do? Trying to land on that piece of pier, and that's it. Oh, can you please stop? This is actually tanking my computer, apparently. I just got an error message. Okay, dragons. Ooh, that lag is awful. Can you please just burn the boats? There we go. I keep forgetting that's a thing. We are blessed. A Viking army has been awed by the majesty of our cathedral and converted. 0 have joined our kingdom yet, accidentally space. But yeah, that's a passive that the cathedral can do. Viking armies that are close to it have a chance of converting into your people. The Lathrixian faith is strong. Also, are they just making their own little kill corridor? Yep. They're just getting themselves trapped in the self-made kill corridor. 40 years to go. I've increased the size of the wall over there, I've increased the size of the walls over here. That's pretty much all I'm doing, so expect even more time jumps than before. There's not much else I want to do. I'm happy with the kingdom. I'm kind of done, to be completely honest. I mean, I can min-max more things, but I like the internal walls. I think they look neat. I like how the farming sections are so dedicated. I like how all the other housing areas and everything are all self-contained. I can't believe it, but I think I'm kind of done. Just tool the walls here and there as I get the stone for it, and I mean, I could force enemies to always spawn in the exact same location, but that would mean making walls all the way around the kingdom, which, again, I don't like the look of. I've done it a million times, and all the other challenges in the hardest mode and everything else force the Vikings to always land on the same tile, but so far, they can't really do all that much. It takes a second for the dragons to respond, but when they do, it's pretty much over. I say, whilst dragons ignored these groups. There we go. Yeah, manual control. I keep saying it, and I keep forgetting. Originally, this is going to be like a super tower. It's going to add loads of ballistas and everything else, but I don't really need that. Oh, we are almost equal now, while on 30% taxes. Do I need all of these ballistas? I mean, not really. Ballistae, ballista. I can't remember how to do plural with this, but still. Turn off a few more. So we have one there, we have the 2 there, and so rare dragons are even attacking. There we go. We're now making gold on only 30% tax, which means 100 average home happiness plus the 7 from health. They're happier than they are allowed to be. It is the year 500. We haven't had a dragon invasion since the last one, which was, I think, like 20 years ago at this point. Something like that. That's just completely broken. On the upside, a lot of our dragons have had children. They're now defending. They've actually lost some overall just to old age. Can you please get here? That'd be great. But yep, the year is 500. We can survive on 30% tax if we wish. We have near 100 health. We do have 100 happiness with some to spare. And I really like how the Empire looks. This is our kingdom, and this is how I want it kept. I've neatened out the walls, so now they're a bit more uniform, which is nice. Other than that, there wasn't all that much else to do. So, with that, thank you so much for watching, and before we go, just a quick summary then of the development build, the beta build. I think it's really cool. I think dragons are an amazing addition, and I like the fact they don't feel too overpowered, and they are a little bit awkward to set up. In the hardest difficulty, I can't imagine having more than 1 or 2, especially with the immense stone requirements, but they are such a super fun endgame unit. Now, the beta build at the moment is incredibly buggy. I think the game crashed at least 20 times overall and kept on killing my recording software for some reason, so use it at your own peril. The instructions to use it are all on Steam, so you can just do that yourself, and I think it is an open beta at the moment, so everyone can play it. Overall, really happy with this. Hope they work on it more. Things like this make the game so much more interesting. And because we're about to go, let's have a quick talk to the witch. Hello, witch, who is at least 500 years old now. Viking Smite. Always fun. So with that, thank you so much for watching. I really do hope you've enjoyed. I just love any excuse to come back to this game. It is definitely in my top 10 games I've ever covered on the channel. Honestly, probably top 5. It is just such an enjoyable, relaxing experience. My favourite kingdom so far. If you have enjoyed, likes, favourite, shares, you know the drill. It all helps out and helps show that Kingdoms and Castles is a series you wish to see continued in the future. Now I need to go and get some sleep. Thank you again, and goodbye.